This is it. Happy birthday, little celebration today. Not that we're doing anything different from our normal week exactly, but hello and welcome to Coffee Chat Friday with me, Sarah Cannon. Thank you guys so much for being here. This is going to be a fun one. I was just looking through the questions that everybody had submitted in the Coven. So just if you're new here or watching on the replay, we do have a Facebook group called Sarah Cannon's Coven, which we have over, how many members do we have in there? Like 3,400 members, which blows my mind. Over 3,000 people in that group. And Christabelle posts, usually when we're going to do a coffee chat, she'll post something about questions and things to ask. We are going to talk a little bit about what's coming up in terms of going. I've seen some questions going by about, are we going to go back to 3 times a week? And when are we going to start reading The Witch's Door and all those good things? I also have packages that showed up at my UPS store PO box. So thank you guys so much for that. And my mailbox was totally stuffed too. So I'm going to try to open all of these. Some of these might have come earlier in the year. Like some of them are from December. I just don't get over to that box to open it very often. A lot of times, come on, lighting. A lot of times there is a huge line at the UPS store, and it's such a small little store. I always kind of feel a little bit nervous going in there. So a lot of times they don't email me when I get just a letter, only when I get a package. So I only go in when I get a package. So I'm sorry if you were wondering if I got your letter. Now I have them all, hopefully. Thank you guys so much. Oh no, Jen says I almost lost track of time and missed you. Happy birthday. Thank you guys so much. And sadly, Janet will not be here with us today because she is getting her nails done, but I will let her know that you guys are sending her happy birthday wishes as well. It just is so crazy. If you didn't hear this news or you're not sure who Janet is my very amazing team member. So I have been looking for years for the perfect complement to my style of working. She's more than just an assistant. Sometimes you might hear me call her an assistant just because that's a big part of what she does, but she really does more than that. She's really supporting me in a lot of ways. So her official title is my online marketing manager, but her name is Janet. She lives in Newfoundland, Canada, and she is just the perfect match for me. She is just helping so much. And it was so crazy to realize that we share a birthday. It just feels like it was meant to be in so many ways. So she's just great. And she has been here for some of our meetings or some of our Q&As, but she's not going to be here today because she's treating herself, which is good. She also was very sweet because she put on my to-do list. We're managing to-do list inside Notion, which is it's an app and a website that is all about managing your to-do list. And it has a Kanban board. It's really, really good productivity type thing. And it's so fun because she put on my to-do list for today, for tomorrow, no work, it's your birthday, reminding me not to work. I'm trying my best to take tomorrow off completely. Also, if you would notice, I also have a bajillion packages back here. Some of the books have actually gone out. Some of you have gotten your tracking numbers, but your books haven't actually been sent out. So I will just very quickly kind of explain that to you. So I went to the post office back when I first did my first book signing for The Witch's Key and asked them at the front, what is the best way to get a bunch of packages sent out all at once? So I have stamps.com, but stamps.com doesn't like to come and pick up your packages unless you're using priority mail. So she said the best thing to do was go around to the back, ask them for some of those bins, fill them up with the books and leave them in the back. So I didn't have to stand in this really long COVID line with several times through because I can't carry all the books in one shot. So anyway, long story short, I went to go do that yesterday to turn in the first. I had already sent some out, but this is the next batch of about 50 or 60 were supposed to go out yesterday. And I went to the back and said, hey, is it okay if I grab some of these bins to stack up these books that I have and bring them back and leave them here. And they were really, really mean to me. Like I seriously almost cried. She was so mean, talking about how it's federal property and I can't steal it and stuff. And I'm like, I know that small business owners take these things all the time and bring them back full of stuff, but she just was having a bad day or something like that. But they wouldn't let me take it. So, I didn't get to drop them off yesterday because that was kind of the time that I had available to go and do it, and they wouldn't let me do it. So Renee said, did you end up using a suitcase? Somebody on my Heart Breathing Instagram suggested maybe that I go and get one of those, like one of our big rolling suitcases and just fill that. So I was thinking about that, but then I went in and called stamps.com and I'm like, what can I do to get these picked up? Because I have literally now 99 packages that need to go out. And it's just going to be such a pain to go and wait in line with 99 packages. So what they told me is if I have first class international packages, which I do have more than 20 of those, that they will come and pick it up. So now I have scheduled for the Postal Service to come and pick them up tomorrow. So that's why they're all sitting here with a little scan form and everything else. So they will all go out tomorrow. I think that on about 30 or so, I forgot to click the thing for it to email you a tracking number. So if you ordered a book and you have not received a tracking number yet, it's on its way to you, but if you would like the tracking number, I can look it up and send it to you on Monday. So, I think maybe George just realized I've got it being picked up tomorrow. So I don't think I got a chance to tell him. It's not that hard of a time. I think I was thinking about this yesterday, and this is just one of those like real life kind of moments, is like really and truly getting 100 packages to the post office should not be something that is hard or stressful, right? But for me, it's like a vulnerable thing because the logistics of stuff like that. And I don't know if it's because I grew up in a small town where we never had to deal with like big post offices, like everybody knew your face, everybody knew, like you just never had to do that stuff. So even if I go to like New York City and have to get on the subway, I feel vulnerable because it's like, I don't know what to do. Like even as an adult, sometimes like driving in a big city, I'm like, this isn't comfortable for me. And I know that sounds kind of silly, maybe some of you who grew up in big cities, but for me, it's always like, I want to make sure that I don't look silly and I want to go in and do something and like figure this out. So I thought I had a system. And then when I went back there and I was like, okay, I know what I'm going to do. I feel confident about it. And then she was so mean to me about like, no one ever has allowed you to do that. You can't do that. You're, all this stuff. You shouldn't be back here. It just like, I think just really made me feel shame and like scared. I don't know how to explain it, but anyway, it's such a silly thing to allow yourself to get upset about. So I decided today that I was not going to let myself get upset about it. And instead, I was going to focus on 100% on how incredibly grateful I am that, back when I was a little girl in that same small town, I grew up in a small town called Hawkinsville, Georgia. And I would go in on the weekends. This will date me because I have no shame around the fact that I'm turning 44 tomorrow. I'm pretty excited about being this age and being here in this opportunity in this stage of life. But when I was little, we had a VCR, no DVDs or anything yet. And not that anybody uses DVDs now anyway either, but we would go into the only little store in our town that had VCRs to rent for the weekend was the Radio Shack. And they only had like a couple little, sections of movies. We didn't even have a Blockbuster or anything like that. Really, really small town. And I remember going in there. It was kind of like a weekend family thing to do. We got to go in and rent a movie. And there was this really cute guy that worked at the Radio Shack, and he was always there on Friday nights, and he was in high school. I was like maybe 10 years old, but it was always like so fun because when I would go in, they would always, I'd go in with my parents and stuff. The whole family would go in. But when it would be time to pick out the movie and take it to the front, he would always be like, well, you're going to have to sign for that. And he would hand me a slip of paper and he'd be like, you better practice that signature because someday, Sarah, people are going to want your signature. And I have been such a mess today. I feel like that makes me cry. And it's just like, why am I crying? I don't know. I have it, Timon. I have it. But he used to say that to me with a little bit of a wink, you know, this high school kid. And it just made me feel so special. And I would do that. I would go in and I would practice my signature. Like someday people are going to care about seeing my signature on something, a book, a poster, or, you know, whatever it is. And just, you know, no amount of postal service stress is going to get in the way of how grateful I am to be sitting here with, you know, 100 packages behind me that you guys have paid for and are waiting for and are excited to get, because that just means the world to me. So yeah, long story short, that was a really fun experience to be able to sign these books. And I just appreciate you guys for the opportunity to do it. And I am very grateful for that. I have also gotten the 2 giveaways. Tina, I have not sent your poster set out. That will have to go out later this weekend. And I forgot to give away the Death's Awakening paperback over on Wednesday on the previous video. So I will do that after here. So, you know, it's just, I forgot. I made a note and I forgot. But I am also going to give away a Beautiful Demons here because I have maybe 6 left. So I'm going to give one away now live. And I'm also going to give one away on the comments just as a little special. And I know you guys don't expect giveaways every time, but I just thought it would be fun because I have a few left over from the signing. So we're going to do that today as well. So stay tuned and we will do a giveaway. And if I forget toward the end, somebody please remind me. I am going to actually go ahead since Tijuana is here and I'm going to open this package. I have 4 packages that came and a bunch of letters. And I know I actually ordered for myself kind of a new Erin Condren Hello Kitty stuff. So there are Hello Kitty different designs at Erin Condren planner site, but she just released new ones for the new year and I had to get all of them. And luckily I got them for free because I get like referral credits. And it should have been here today, but I just got a notice that it was delayed and it'll be here tomorrow, which is even more perfect. So yay. Oh my goodness. It's a tarot journal. What? Look at this. Oh my gosh. Happy birthday, Sarah. Hope you have a wonderful day. Oh my goodness. Look at this, you guys. Has all these different 3-card spreads. This is amazing. I have never actually had like an official tarot journal before. So this is perfect. So in the front, it looks like it has a bunch of different ideas for what you can do for the 3 cards. So you can ask about past, present, future, mind, body, spirit, dream, spheres, reality. I love it. Thank you so much. And there's more in here too. Where's my scissors? I love this cover. How cool is this? This is going in my altar area. I love it. Thank you so much. Tell what it is. So I've got a little box here. It's heavy. Oh, there's lots of little things in here. Oh my gosh. Is this going to be crystals? Ah, look at this, you guys. Oh my gosh. I love it. This kind of reminds me of Willow Harbor too, with the tree of life on it. I love this. Oh my gosh, look at all these crystals. And there's more in this box. Okay, now I got to know what all of these are. This is incredible. You are so sweet. I love it. So this may be, I may not know what all of these are. This is maybe either, I don't think it's lapis, but blue calcite maybe. I don't know. You guys are going to have to help me. Clear quartz. Maybe carnelian. Is that what this is? Amethyst. Green aventurine. And That could be carnelian. Soda light. Yes, I knew there was one that I was like something that I'm not thinking of. Yes, I think it is soda light. Thank you. And then what is this one? It's kind of creamy. That's pretty. These are amazing. So this one is probably carnelian. So what is this one that's darker? It's more like not clear. These are awesome. They're kind of like dice in your hands, but like, oh, I love the way they feel. The last orange is the carnelian. Yeah, I agree. I love that they're cube shaped too. And they're like polished stones. And there's more in here. Oh my goodness. This is incredible. Ooh. Oh my gosh. Look at this. It's an angel carved amethyst. Red Jasper. Oh my gosh. You guys are amazing. So red Jasper. What about this one? Anybody know? Look how beautiful this is. This is going on my desk. Yeah, I love this. You went over like above and beyond. I cannot believe this. Oh my gosh, more amethyst. You know my purple heart. Look at this. It's a pyramid. I love the pyramids too because like up toward the star, like just like that, sending your prayers up to the heavens. The angel now is going to remind me of Kai because I'm getting back into the witch's key. Oh, I guess that's kind of a spoiler. Ooh, my bad. Oh, and a pendulum. What? Timoana, you have outdone yourself. This is so kind and generous. Look at this. I don't know if you guys can see that. I love it. And it's got another little amethyst ball here at the top. Ignore my nails. I know I haven't done them. I love it. Oh my gosh. This is just so cool. Amethyst pyramid, amethyst angel. The angel is going to stay on my desk because I just feel that 100%. The pyramid's going up on my altar though. Thank you so much. This is cool. I sincerely appreciate it. That is amazing. So many gifts in one package. I love it. Oh, Carrie, I see I have something from you too. And let's see. I can't see who this is from because they stuck something over the top of it. Maybe directly from Amazon. I'm not sure. Who sent you this package? They need my address. That was Timoana. Thank you so much for that. Oh, I got some pins. Who is this from? Oh, Diane Morasco. Happy birthday. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Sharpie S gel pens. And they're blue bodied. The only ones I have the black body. And I was just telling George that I ran out of my pens because I used them all up. If you guys have not ever tried these pens, they are like some of my favorite pens I've ever used. These Sharpie S gel pens. They are incredible. Thank you so much for that. I love it. So I'm just going to keep opening. I've got 2 more packages. Dun, da, da, da. I just feel so loved, you guys. Thank you so much. I also had a birthday tarot reading with Tanya today. You guys know I talk about Tanya all the time. I had a birthday tarot reading with her and I cried through half the thing, but in my defense, she cried too. So it wasn't just me, but yes, it was truly incredible. More gifts. Happy birthday. I hope you have a great day from Sarah Groves. Oh my goodness. Thank you. And there's 2 things in here too. I love these little gift bags from Amazon. I love them because you can reuse them. And this is a good size too, because you can put little crystals in here and all kinds of things. I feel like I'm just being spoiled. Oh, oh my gosh. You have got to be kidding me. I love it. I love it. Hold on. I got to figure out how to open it. It's a Hello Kitty keychain. It was such a good reading, you guys, too. I did not open it on camera because I got it last week, but Sarah Lee sent me an amazing gift as well with some Aquarius goodies, a I guess it's stone, right? So a stone that's kind of like yin yang. So but it makes a moon, and it has one side has a candle in it and the other side has the little Aquarius symbol on it. So along with some other things, I just love it. If you guys have not checked it out, if you guys read mystery thriller, particularly like domestic thrillers, Sarra Lee has an amazing one up on Amazon. She just published her first book. So Sarra, if you have your link handy, you should post it, because I know that we have some mystery thriller readers in our midst here as well. All right. Look at this. Now that I got it open, I cannot believe it. Look how cute this is. Hello. This is amazing. And it's got like a little apple and then the little milk. If you're familiar with Hello Kitty and you love Hello Kitty like I do, you recognize this little milk with the M. The very first ever Hello Kitty design that they did back in 1976 was a coin purse. And on the coin purse, she has this little milk bottle. I think it was red though, but I love it. Thank you so much, Sarra. And there's something else in here too. So opening. Savannah, considering how well you spoil your readers, it's only fair to spoil you right back. I love it. Thank you. I hopefully am going to spoil you guys a lot this year, because I'm feeling the energy and the excitement of many things to come. We'll talk about that in just a second too. So second package from Sarra. Another little box. Oh my goodness. Look, it's little pearl earrings. Oh my gosh, you guys are definitely spoiling me. I don't know if you can see that. This is amazing. I love it. Incredible. Oh my gosh, are they kitties? They're kitties. They're pearl kitties. Hush your mouth. Look at this. They're kitties with a bow. I'm speechless. I'm stunned. I did not know this existed, but thank you. I'm going to put these on and not take them off. I love it. This is so cool and thoughtful. I was like, oh, they're beautiful. They're pearl. And then I was like, oh, there's like a bow and a kitty ears. I'm literally speechless. Thank you so much for that, Sarra. And I think I have a question from Sarra too. I do. Okay, now a bigger package from Carrie, who has already spoiled me this year once already, or last year. I can't believe it. All right, let me get this open without, oh, I just snorted. I apologize. Without cutting myself. There's a lot of tape on this. Okay, let's see. We're getting there. Hopefully I don't cut through anything. I need some music or something to go through this, so you guys aren't just watching me struggle. It's like the struggle is real. So funny fact is that George got me, that's okay. George got me a something that is handmade. I know what it is. It's a dragonfly like pentacle for my altar. It's a handmade thing, but he ordered it back in November and it still has not shipped. And he was like, oh, it'll be for our anniversary. And then it wasn't here. So then he was like, oh, I'll give it to you for Christmas. Still wasn't here. So it was like, well, it'll be a birthday gift. It's still not here. But what I told him is that gives him an excuse to buy me more presents. Ah, it is open. It is open. I've made it through. Oh my gosh. Carrie, you've got to be kidding me. What in the world? There's so much stuff here. Oh my goodness. Ah. Y'all have just showered me with love. So much love. Ah, shaker card. I love these. This is so, so cute. Oh my goodness. I won't read the cards because I don't know if there's going to be personal stuff, but a little Hello Kitty sticker and a shaker card with little shakers in it. I love stuff like this. Thank you, Carrie. Oh, and there's more notes. Oh, okay. I'm going to send you an email because y'all, manifestation stuff works because there's a huge thing. Maybe you probably, Carrie, I'm guessing you saw this on my vision board, but something you mentioned right there in that little Post-it note is on my vision board for this year. So thank you very, very much. All right. So let's see what this one says. These books, spoilers. Oh, wait. Okay. Oh, Evie. Okay. Not sure they're right for Evie, but I like them for you. Okay. I'm going to open it up. Let's see. By the way, Carrie, so I don't know if you guys remember, Carrie is the one who sent those adorable Hello Kitty shoes. So Evie is obsessed with shoes. And that was one of her first words that she started saying like over and over and over again is shoes, shoes. First thing she says in the morning when she wakes up, she points to her shoes. She has these little princess shoes that came with her Snow White costume for Halloween. So she wears those all the time and she loves the Hello Kitty shoes. And you can tell when she's wearing them that she just feels really special. So I just love those shoes. I have a feeling we're going to save them forever. Monster ABC. Yes. Okay. I love it. You know what? And I have the kind of kids that will like this. Please tell me Z is for zombie. Of course. Z is for zombie with your brain on his mind. We'll see. Actually, Evie loves reading we have a couple Halloween books that have little monsters in them, and she actually loves those. So we might see what she thinks of them. She might actually like it more than you think. And I think Andrew will like this. So yes, I love it. Thank you very much. All right, let's see. I really enjoyed the questions that you guys sent in today too. So I'm excited to talk about those. I feel like they're really thoughtful, like interesting questions to talk about. And we're also going to talk a little bit about kind of what's coming up next, because obviously Fate Surrender is out. Let me know in the comments without any spoilers if you have read Fate Surrender yet. The Cyclops Witch and the heebie-jeebies. What? This is cool. Look. I love it. Oh, and look what's right in the front. A little crow. This is cute. Thank you so much, Gary. I will read those to Evie. She's obsessed with books. I'm convinced like the best thing you can do for your children when they're young is just read to them every day, because she just loves books every single night. More book, more book, more book. So let's see what this one is. I'm sure there's no better teacher than your sister. I kind of liked this book and I thought you might too. It's an art journaling book. These are, Carrie, you are a good gift giver. I don't know if anyone's ever told you that, but you have a special knack for this. This is so thoughtful. So if you guys haven't been following my Heart Breathings channel, one of the main things I want to do this year just for me is learn to art journal. And I actually bought a journal that I want to use for art, and I've signed up for the Let's Make Art journaling subscription box, but I don't really know what I'm doing. And yes, my sister is an artist and she is a teacher, but she doesn't always have time. So this is so cool. Lots of like prompts and exercises, and it looks like processes. This is so incredibly thoughtful. Thank you very, very much for that. Like, I will cherish this. Thank you very much. I love you guys. I'm going to cry. I'm going to try not to cry. I mean, just all of these things. I cannot thank you enough. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I do have some various stuff here as well. And I'm not sure even if it's more from Heart Breathings fans or Sarah Cannon fans, but look how cute this one is. Oh, I probably shouldn't. Oh no, it's just my address. But this is from the Netherlands. I can't tell who it's from, but I want to actually open it kind of. I won't open all the letters because I don't necessarily want to read it if it's too private. But I will open this one because it's obviously Hello Kitty. Look at this. I love it. It's the little things, y'all. And there's stickers inside. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I hope 2021 will be a little bit more normal. Love, Ria de Rilka. Oh my gosh, I love it. Thank you. Look at these cute stickers too. Yay. So if you sent a card, I most likely have it here and I will open all of these later. Thank you guys so much for showering me with gifts. I feel extremely grateful. Just like it's just radiating from my heart and I hope that you can feel it. So I have some questions here. I did see people saying whether they read it. Almost done with it, and I love it. I love Fate Surrender. It was so good. Finished it last night. So good. I read Fate Surrender and done with it. You outdid yourself. Thank you so much. Grandma bookgiver over here. Yes, definitely. Give children books as often as you can. Still reading it. Love it. Haven't yet, but all 3 books are in my Amazon cart. 12 chapters in. Fate Surrender was awesome. I have it and it was amazing. Thank you guys so much. Yes. It's going to end on a cliffhanger, so just be forewarned, but hopefully you guys will really, really love it. But we're going to talk a little bit about what's coming up. And I think thanks to one of our commenters here, Susan, I may have a title for book 4. I have already reached out to Raven, and in April, I think she's going to make the cover for book 4. So that is going to move us right along. So Megan had asked, happy birthday. My question is regarding Wattpad. I know several published authors use it, but can they be trusted with original fiction? I'm thinking of using that platform to launch my writing career. Any advice? Also, how can you be sure your work is protected? This is a really, really good topic. So if you are not familiar with Wattpad, Wattpad is an app and a website where people post stories, and usually you post them one chapter at a time. Sometimes people will post on a regular schedule, like every Monday. Sometimes people will just post whenever a chapter is ready. It is used for a lot of learning writers, a lot of fan fiction writers who want to know more about, how to put a story together, but also want to explore maybe a story that didn't go the way they thought, or they want to explore some like ships that didn't happen in the real story, but they want to do it, on their own, or they want to like explore what it would have been like if Harry and Hermione had gotten together, or, whatever it is. So you see a lot of that type of stuff on Wattpad. You probably would find a lot of unfinished stories as well, people that kind of fell off, but there are like millions and millions of readers on Wattpad. I don't have any specific stats, but if you know them, feel free to throw it in the comments. But it is like their like regular users is in the multiple millions and millions of people, and it's a global audience. So a lot of my readers that have found me from India have found me on Wattpad, which is really interesting. Actually, I love this because every time I move, I've got this little tree is make a clicking noise. Let me know if it bothers you, but it makes me happy. So Wattpad is problematic in that exact reason that you're talking about, Megan, that sometimes people will steal your work and claim it for their own. About once a month, I go in on Wattpad and I search for beautiful demons, and you wouldn't even believe the boldness of people that actually will just repost beautiful demons or another one of my stories with the same cover. They'll just take my name off the cover. Like they'll Photoshop their own name on my cover. And it's like, what are you doing? What are you talking about? Like, why would you do that? Hi. Hi, Alexis. How are you doing? Yes, it's a lot of packages. We've got a lot of beautiful demons are heading out tomorrow. Oh my goodness. It is a really, really fun way though to connect with readers. And the cool thing about Wattpad is that you can get in and you can hear feedback on your story. So like if you're a new writer and you want feedback, or people can actually help you sort of edit it. And it is common, to be honest, for people to comment and be like, oh, you know what, it would be better if you did this way, or you know what, I would have loved to see this, or you've got a typo here. So if you do decide to publish on Wattpad, don't be offended if somebody's trying to correct or give advice on your story, because that's kind of the site that it is. It's kind of like having a ton of beta readers and fans. But it is true that people sometimes, if your story gets a lot of traction and it gets popular, like I think there's maybe 500,000 people have read, or maybe not people, but 500,000 reads on my Beautiful Demons series. And, you know, once something gets popular or it gets into a top 10 of a genre list or something like that, yeah, there's going to be people that will take it and they'll put it up there, or they'll steal it or whatever. They're not usually making money off of it. And I'll tell you that if you go and you check and you look for your story, like usually people will keep the same title, or you can search for pieces or your characters or things like that. Wattpad will take it down immediately. So if you can say to them, this is my original story, here's my profile. If you have that book published already, like I do with Beautiful Demons, you can message them and say, here it is on my website. So this is my story. And they take it down like immediately if they think that it's not there legally. But I mean, I know that some people, it kind of depends on what's your personal tolerance for putting up with people that plagiarize or try to steal or pirate your stories. I try not to let it get me too upset. I do go through and make them take it down, of course, because it's my intellectual property. But it does get, yeah, so Rachel had the same experience. It does get pulled pretty quickly. And I feel like they do listen to you, but that is just one of the risks of having, and it can happen to you even if you don't put your books on Wattpad. So if you're an author and you have a book, you might want to still go, like if you have a book published, you may still want to go on Wattpad and check and make sure your story isn't up there, because there are just going to be people that do that and they plagiarize or pirate your story, and you just do the best you can. So that's one thing about Wattpad. There is no way to guarantee that someone is not going to take your work. What you have to know, though, is that at least here in the United States, and this is the way it is in most countries, you own your copyright the minute you create the work. So even if you don't have it like registered copyright with the US Copyright Office or anything like that, and some countries don't even have a copyright office, you own that piece of fiction that you created. Now, when it comes to fan fiction, you're creating it, but you're using someone else's character. So there's, you know, there's rules on that. You couldn't necessarily sell that on Amazon if you were using that characters or that world in like exactly like if you were using the name Harry Potter and Hogwarts and stuff, you couldn't publish that on Amazon because that property belongs to J.K. Rowling. But you can publish fan fiction about that kind of stuff on Wattpad. So it's a cool, like free place to try things out, to meet people, but it's not a super easy place to get noticed, because the same way that there are millions and millions of writers there and readers, there's just millions of stories. And so you need to learn how it works. So watch YouTube videos. If you decide to do it, watch some YouTube videos, but it's the kind of thing, sort of like a social media network, that the more you participate there and you comment on other people's stories and you get involved in the community and talk to the people that are commenting on your stuff, the more traction you're going to get. Because if you just post, also the more consistently you post, the more chances you have of being found. So if you just post one chapter of something up there, or like 2 chapters, and then it takes you a year to get back to it, most likely you're not going to have a ton of success, because it takes time to build. And, you know, the same thing can be true when you're just publishing your work out on Google Play and Amazon. One book, maybe not so many people pay attention, but you get the second book and the third book and you start to build a series, and then you start to build people's attention. Or if you're not writing series, just getting more books out can help. And Wattpad is the same way. And that is true about anywhere that you're creating content. If you go and you participate and you put energy toward it and time toward it, you're more likely to be successful. Also, there are going to be some genres that do better on Wattpad than others, like romance and fan fiction tend to do really, really well. Young adult fiction tends to do really well, but maybe you're like mystery, SEAL team, alpha, whatever kind of thing might not do as well. I don't know. But you might want to do a little bit of research about like, does this kind of cozy mystery get a lot of traction there or not? And just find out, right? So the way that I got started, so Vanessa asked, how often did you post on Wattpad? And I do see this question as well, so I'm going to leave it up until I get a chance to answer it. But you typically can post anything that you want there at any schedule that you want. So I was approached by Wattpad and they asked me, we see that you have some books. We would love to feature your book if you'd like to put your free books up here. So what we did was I just published the entire book of Beautiful Demons on there all at once. I didn't like publish one chapter a week. I just uploaded all of the different chapters and pushed publish, and then they featured the story. And that's how I got like 500,000. It wasn't because I put my time in like everybody used to. So it was, or like everybody should. It's like I kind of got lucky, I guess. So that is how my story got as much traction as it did for Beautiful Demons. But they will only feature one story, or at least that's the way it used to be. So what I decided to do was go ahead and upload Inner Demons and Bitter Demons and hope that if people liked those 3 free books, they would go on to read some of my other books and purchase them. I do get some people that send me messages that they're upset that they can't get the rest of the series on Wattpad. So if you're posting the beginning of a series or just your free books up there, just know that you might get some people that are annoyed by the fact that you're asking them to pay for the rest of the stories. But usually if somebody contacts me and they're really interested in the story, I will let them get a free copy of like Shadow Demons books 4, 5, 6, and so on, if they agree to leave an honest review. So that's one way to make sure that people continue reading if they want without having to list the book for free. But it really can be a good place to get started. And it's really like you get out of it what you put into it. And sometimes you get lucky like I did. And sometimes your story is going to sit there in obscurity and you're going to be like, what do I do? But most of the time you will be better off if you are trying to interact with other people. If you just show up and you post one chapter and then 6 months later you post another chapter and you never talk to anybody on the site and you never say hello and you never interact with anybody else, it's probably not going to happen that you're going to get a lot of reads from people because they're just not even going to see your story. So you have to kind of get active, but it can be a powerful place. There are people who have gotten TV deals. Have you guys, let me know in the comments if you've ever read any of Natasha Preston's books. I really like her books. They're mostly standalone books that have titles like The Blank, The Cellar, The Lake, The Cabin, stuff like that. I like her books. They're really fun to read, but she ended up with something like 1 million reads from doing exactly what I was talking about. She wrote a great story with a really cool hook to it. It was like a girl gets kidnapped and thrown in the cellar with all these other girls. And so it had that thriller. It was a YA thriller basically, and kind of had that kind of vibe of what's that movie that's like part of the whole the guy that's like multiple personalities and stuff. You guys know what I'm talking about. And Glass came after it. Unbreakable. What was that movie called? Anyway, it kind of has that sort of feel to it with the girls being there kidnapped and stuff. And it's really, really good. And she got 1 million something views. And from that, she got a 6-figure publishing deal with Source Books. And now she's got books and books and books coming out. Split. Thank you guys very much. She's got lots of books coming out. I think her latest book coming out in maybe February is called The Lake. So she's built an entire career around it. Does that happen for like 90%? No, it doesn't. Yeah, Kiss the Girls is another one similar to that. Split is the one I was talking about, but Kiss the Girls is another kind of similar vibe type thing. So yeah, it's just like you could have that level of success if your book is really good, if the hook is really good. And in some ways on Wattpad, I feel like the hook of the story, like when people are scrolling through and they see the little tagline about your book, is it interesting to them? Because I think you've got so many stories there that if your book starts out slow or it's not like a real what I would call high concept type of story. Her name was Natasha Preston. If it's not a high concept story, a lot of people are going to scroll on past. But if they see like, ooh, kidnapping, a thriller, this could be cool. Or like, oh, witches and demons, I love that. It's going to make them click on it a lot faster. So you can always experiment with stuff like that. You could even experiment with short stories and things. But I like Wattpad. I think that it's a good place to use to hone your skills and to get to know people. But I think you do have to be careful about the fact that some people, if you get popular there, might try to kind of steal your stuff. About the question though, that can you publish a book to Amazon if you published it on Wattpad? Yes. But there is a caveat there. So Amazon has a program called Kindle Unlimited, which is exclusive to Amazon. So if you published your book on Wattpad and then you decided to publish it on Amazon and you went into Kindle Unlimited, you would have to unpublish it from Amazon or from Wattpad, because when you go to Kindle Unlimited, if you decide to join that program with your books, you cannot have your book available anywhere else. So like right now, The Witch's Key is not a free book at Amazon, but it is up on Wattpad. Same thing with Sorrow's Gift. So if you've read Death's Awakening and you want to get to Fate's Surrender, you could read Sorrow's Gift technically on Wattpad. So it's totally up to you if you want to post something that you've also posted other places. You own it. You can do with it as you choose. But if you decide to go into an exclusivity program like Kindle Unlimited, you will have to unpublish it from Wattpad. But that's the main thing. Stephanie had asked, my question is geared more towards heart breathings, but have enough people asked for a video on writing a serial to warrant one yet? And I had done a whole video series on how to write a series. And a lot of people asked for a video on how to write a serial versus how to write a series. And so, yes, there have been tons and tons of people that have asked for a series or for a few videos on that topic. So there will be a little mini series coming about how to write a serial. So we will talk about that. She says, but you have Beautiful Demons on Wattpad and Amazon because you're not in KDP or Kindle Unlimited. Yes. So that is the way it works. So if you're not in Kindle Unlimited, you can put those books wherever you want. So you can offer them free on your website. You could put them up in a podcast. You can put them, review copies on BookFunnel, wherever you want. You're free to do it. But when you go into Kindle Unlimited, you have to be exclusive to Amazon, and you can't even give away copies for review or anything. So it's just, it's one of those things. Now, some people still do review copies, but I think you have to be kind of careful with it. So, but yeah, you can't use Kobo or Google Play or anywhere else, but you also cannot, there's even rules about how much of a teaser you can post on your website. If you're in Kindle Unlimited, there's like a percentage they allow you to post. So they kind of lock you down. So you have to be careful with that. Christy Calvina Johnson says, happy birthday, Sarah. My question for you, what comes first, the plot or the characters? So for me, it's usually a scene. So I almost always, this is true for The Witch's Key. This is true for hopefully upcoming novel, The Haunting of Luna Day, and more so, several stories like that. It is a scene. It's like a moment in time that I see and picture in my head. So that involves a character, but it also involves a situation. And for The Witch's Key, it was the ritual circle, and that whole part towards the end of the book, I saw that in my head. So it's kind of a combination for me of plot and characters, because I see that character, but they're in the specific type of situation. I've never seen or pictured a character just for the character's sake that I didn't know where they fit. It was just purely like a combination of both, but it's never the full plot either. It's usually just like a scene or an idea of a scene, because I really was like, oh, how does this fit into an entire book? But I can see pieces of the character and pieces of the plot coming together in that scene. So for me, it's a combination of both. Jamie Joe also asked, non-author question, what's the difference between a series and a serial? So a series is a series of novels that are linked together, that have a full plot storyline. But they're connected in some way. And there are lots of different types of series. So you could have stuff like Jack Reacher, where you've got the same character, but different standalone kind of like thriller situations. Or you can have a series like My Shadow Demon Saga, where you've got Harper is one of the main characters in all the books, but you can't really jump in on book 6. You have to start from the beginning and go to the end. But that's a series of connected novels. A serial, however, is more like, I think of it like this way. If a novel is a movie, a serial is like a TV show. So it's usually like shorter servings. So usually like 10 to 30,000 words per episode. So if you've read or seen my Sacrifice Me series, that is actually a serial series. So it's a series of novellas that come together, but you don't get an entire story in that first piece of the serial. Whereas a novel, you get a whole story, you get a beginning, a middle, and a full resolution. And then I tend to give you a little cliffhanger at the end. But a serial is a shorter serving thing that it's kind of like if a novel follows this, where it like starts and builds and then kind of falls off and has resolution. A serial kind of goes like this and then ends on an upbeat. So it will have its own like encapsulated piece of a story, but it usually doesn't stand alone. It has to be told in sequence, kind of like you were watching an entire series of a TV show. But I will talk more about this on my other channel. But I think the best way to describe it for people who are not authors is movies versus TV shows. So you've got like the full thing that you could sit down and get the whole story. And then the serial is more of like a piece of the puzzle, shorter servings. Sarah Groves asked, my question is, what made you want to become a writer? So I've talked about this a little bit before, that for me, it was really, a love of books from a young age, and understanding that there was a certain magic and a certain way of feeling like you belong to something greater than yourself when you're reading, like you literally, and you guys know this because you're readers, but like you're stepping into the pages and you're having this whole other life in this person's head. And I was always fascinated by that. And I always had stories and I always had a desire to write. And it started out with a lot of poetry and short stories and things like that for me. And then eventually I thought about being an author. And I kind of hit this point where I was going to college and I thought, do I want to major in English and creative writing, or do I want to major in music? And I finally decided, well, I'm going to major in music, because if I want to be a singer, I can't like get started at 50 years old, but I could always become a writer at 50. So I decided to follow singing, but ended up with writing. So this is kind of, I think, where I was always meant to be. But when George asked me, when I was 30 years old, he asked me, what is it you want to do more than anything? I just immediately was like, came bubbling from the depths of my soul, I want to be a writer. And I think I had always known it deep down, but I think it's just that amazing moment of knowing that there's this whole other world that takes place that can just instantly in the pages of a book take you away from where you are and be in someone else's life. I just think it's amazing. Patty Hopkins, happy birthday weekend. I finished reading Fate Surrender and had a question. Oh, okay. So this one actually was a little bit spoilery. So I'm not going to answer I'm not going to read even the full question, but she basically asked, what made you choose New York as a backdrop for part of this series? So if you've read the series, you know that the characters are not in New York at the beginning, but they're trying to get there throughout the whole series. And I don't know exactly if this is the full amount of it, but I definitely know that when I was reading, first of all, reading The Stand, which is a big part of the inspiration for this book, I loved the scenes that were taking place in the bigger cities like Vegas and so on. And so I had this idea of it would be cool to have zombie battles inside bigger cities that have like iconic. And I think that can be a trope of like post-apocalyptic books and movies anyway, is, things happening where you've got the Statue of Liberty toppled over or, things like that. This is why like The Day After Tomorrow is one of my favorite movies, not a zombie movie, but an apocalypse kind of movie. I love that movie. And part of the cool thing of it is like watching the Hollywood sign get destroyed and like the big waves in New York City and stuff like that. And so I just feel like I naturally gravitated toward, if I'm going to write a zombie series, there's going to be some big scenes where you get to see these iconic cities like DC, New York, and maybe some others that have, that appear totally different once the zombie apocalypse has hit. So that's really kind of where that inspiration came from. Another question from Christy says, what was the first book you wrote and finished? And she says, and did you publish it or is it put away just for you? And I was thinking this might be kind of a fun thing to do next week, but we are going to talk about this. We've only got a few more minutes left of our live stream. And I do want to address this. There's a couple of questions here that I think I can answer quickly. But I love disaster movies too. Love, love, love. Yes. Ow, I have a zombie series. The first book is called Death's Awakening. You can get it down below and it is free. And the newest book just came out on Friday last week. So the first book I ever wrote and finished was called, well, I won't say finished. We've talked about this before. I wrote a book called Into Darkness, which is about twins, a girl-boy twins. And not ironically, I guess the girl twin is in New York City and her brother is at a small town kind of college in Tennessee. And he is accused of murdering his professor and taking off and the police can't find him. So she travels to this small, creepy town in the mountains in Tennessee and is searching to find her brother before the cops find him. So this book is the first book I ever wrote and it does not have an ending to it, but it is over 50,000 words. And I did finish NaNoWriMo that very first year that I did. And I probably should go back and finish it, but it might be fun to kind of read some more of that series to you guys to see or read some more of that book to you guys, some more scenes of it and see if you think I should ever go finish it. But for now, it has never been finished. The second novel that I ever finished was one that I called The Millionaires' Secret Merger. And it is a Georgia Sea Island based romance that I had written for Harlequin's Silhouette Desire line. And I did finish that novel and I submitted it to Harlequin and it was rejected. So that is my second novel that I finished. The third novel that I finished was called Pandemic, and that later turned into Death's Awakening. And there are scenes from that original book, Pandemic, that just made it in. If you've read Fate's Surrender so far, you have read like a motorcycle scene. I won't say anything more than that, but a motorcycle scene, some of the compound scenes, some of the city scenes, the beach scene where Carmen sees the ship. All of that was originally in that first book, Pandemic, all the way back in 2009. So many, many years ago now. So I wrote those 3 novels and tons of short stories and novellas before I ever wrote Beautiful Demons, which of course is the first book that I actually published. So some things there that never got published, some things that got totally rewritten and reworked. Rachel asked, publishing question, I know there's a debate around wide and all in KU. Were you ever in KU and was it scary deciding to go wide? So I have always been I've always been as wide as I can be. So I started publishing before Kindle Unlimited existed. And I never really considered going into it because it's not a great model for authors. I know that it is good for a lot of readers, so I hate to sound too judgmental for it, but it has really hurt the entire industry for self-publishing authors. And there are some people that do well in it, but it's a system that really makes it where authors who are not publishing a book every 2 weeks have a harder time making money and making a living. And most of the authors that I know that went into Kindle Unlimited lost a lot of their income. And so that's one reason I don't agree with the program, so I won't join it myself. But the other thing is I have too many readers and have had too many readers right from the start. Like when I first started publishing, Barnes and Noble just came out with their self-publishing like program, and it was called Pubit back in the day. Now it's called Barnes and Noble Press, but they came out with it literally October 2010, which is exactly when I started publishing. So I got in on the ground floor. I couldn't publish at Apple Books yet, and I couldn't publish at Kobo, and I couldn't publish at Google Play Books because it didn't exist yet. But I was on Barnes and Noble and Amazon right from the start. And I actually sold a lot more books at Barnes and Noble in the beginning than I did at Amazon. But I basically joined all of those other places as soon as I could. And if you look back at like my income and sales throughout my entire career, Amazon isn't even half of my sales. So for me to go all into KU would be, I feel like telling my fans that buy my books at Apple that I don't care about them. And I don't care if they can get my books, they can get them at Amazon. And that's just not the kind of person that I am. I really and truly care about my readers, whether you come from Amazon or Apple or Google Play or Wattpad or YouTube. And I want to make sure that my books are as available as possible to everyone, because there are some people that don't want to buy their books on Amazon, or that have a Nook, or that have a Kobo reader and they just don't want to buy there. So I want to be available for everybody, but it's a long, hard discussion about whether you should join Kindle Unlimited or Wide, because a lot of people will tell you the only way to make money is to go into Kindle Unlimited. And I will just tell you that is absolutely not true. It's just that you can sometimes make money faster in Kindle Unlimited these days. But I would say if you're in KU and you're wondering if like you've been wanting to go wide and you're scared, it can be a scary thing. There's an amazing group on Facebook called Wide for the Win. And if you want a link to that group, just send me a message and I will send you a link to join us. But it's a group of people that are going wide or are wide. And so if you're scared and you want a little bit more support, feel free to join that group, because there's a lot of really good information. It can be a longer process to start making money everywhere besides Amazon, but to me, it's so worth it in the long run, instead of having all your, apples in Amazon's basket, because Amazon for most of us, you're just a number, and they're just not going to, make sure that they're protecting your career. So you have to be proactive for yourself. So one last question. Holly said, do you ever act out scenes for writing inspiration? And if so, what was your favorite one? I don't. Oh, Evie's still in her PJs. Bless you. You want to say hi? She's been blinking a lot today. She might be having allergies or something. You want to say hi, Andrew? Hello. So I do when I'm writing, sometimes you'll see weird facial expressions, and I will sometimes, like, if a character is like touching their face or nose, I will sometimes like do what they're doing, which is part of what makes writing in public a little bit awkward. But I've never like actually acted them out, except I do have very strong memories of George and I taking a giant whiteboard and trying to map out the final battle in Demons Forever. And we were kind of like, well, if Jackson's over here, then Harper's here, and let's do this. And it was really kind of fun. So we had like the whole room and we were working through it. So sometimes you do have to figure that out, and it's really fun. So that would be the scene that stands out most in my memory, is the final battle scene against, well, I won't say who it's against, but you guys know if you've been there in Demons Forever. So yeah, that's one of my favorites. Okay, so before we go, I do want to just briefly talk about what's coming up. So after looking through my schedule, I am probably going to, next week on Friday, we're going to have another coffee chat. We're almost to the end of January, but I think after next Friday, we will start going to Monday, Wednesday, Fridays in February, starting February 1st. I will let you guys know for sure next Friday, but we won't start reading until the week after that. So what we would do is January 29th, which is next Friday, we would have just our regular coffee chat. Then the next week on Monday, February 1st, we will have start our 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday readings. But on Monday and Wednesday, we will have kind of a recap of what happened on the last season of The Witch's Key, so to speak, and a little bit of like goodies getting ready for The Witch's Door. And then we will start reading The Witch's Door, hopefully on either that Friday or the following Monday after. So everybody can start to plan that we will start our 3 times a week readings on February 1st. So if it turns out that I'm not quite ready to read, we will just do some other reading until we get ready. But I hope that I will be ready for reading, not on the 1st, but by that Friday or the following Monday. So plan for next week to be normal, just Friday. And then 2 weeks from now, we will be back to Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. I hope that you guys will be able to join me. I have this fear of like, oh my gosh, what if everybody's back to work and nobody can make it on Monday and Wednesday? But you know what? I know that you guys will come back and watch the replays, but I hope that it'll be fun for you to be back to those Monday, Wednesday, Friday readings. I am definitely looking forward to it. And I'm definitely looking forward. Oh, giveaway. Yes. Thank you, Rachel. I almost did forget. We're going to do a giveaway for Beautiful Demons paperback. So if you want to get a comment in, I'm going to scroll up. So Witch's Door is not out yet. I haven't even written it yet, but we will be reading it here live, just like we did with The Witch's Key, hopefully starting in 2 weeks. So I will be partially writing that book as we go, but I would like to have at least the first maybe 5 or 6 episodes written before I start. So that's going to be really fun too. Diane says comment. Okay. So giveaway. We're giving away a copy of Beautiful Demons, open internationally. So I'm just going to scroll and choose. So Tiger Lily Karen, if you do not have a copy of Beautiful Demons, then just message me, sarah@sarahcannon.com with your full name and address, and I will send you this book. If you already have Beautiful Demons, you can pick a different book, and if I have it available, I will send it to you. I definitely have copies of The Witch's Key, and I am getting copies. I think they might have shipped because George yelled at me from the other room, did you order a ton of books? Because I think they might have shipped, because I've got like 100 books coming in. I've got a lot of copies of Death's Awakening and Sorrow's Gift and Fate's Surrender that are coming in, and some other things. So congrats, Tiger Lily Karen. Just send me an email. I will also be giving away 1 copy here in the comments before next Friday. So go ahead and leave a comment after this. Go and comment on the main video after the live is over if you want a chance to win that one, just to give everybody a chance that was watching on the replay. Thank you again so very much for all the gifts. I just feel totally like loved and very grateful for everything and for every one of you. It is such a gift, honestly, just that you're here with me for this. And I consider it really, truly one of the greatest gifts of 2020 that you guys, formed this community with me. And I cannot wait to read the next book. It's so exciting. So I will see you guys next week on Friday, and then I will see you starting on February 1st for Monday, Wednesday, Friday readings after that. It's going to be awesome. And I am going to go, as soon as I click off here, I'm going to go and give away that Death's Awakening copy from last week. So I will tag whoever's there, or I'll reply to your comment over there. So, all right, you guys, thank you for all the birthday love. Another birthday love sending out to Janet, and I will see you guys next week. You want to say bye-bye? Bye-bye. Can you say love you? No, we're not going to get a love you. Can you say shoes? Nose? Where's mommy's nose? She's starting to know nose, eyes, mouth, and all of that. So anyway, all right, you guys, I love you. Thanks for being here. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you get a chance, and I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.